Good morning. Keep this in mind, brought to you by SpechtHealth.com. I am David A. Specht. It's Monday. It's June the 12th. And an interesting thing happened this morning. And if you followed you follow me on social, you've seen, my little morning videos that I do during my walk. But something interesting has been happening. So about 6 weeks ago, maybe five, I started walking because I've told you my wife started a boot camp. She gets up at 5:30 in the morning. She prepares herself and then she goes to boot camp at 7. So about a week into that, I decided I was going to start getting up and at least walking, trying to get my body in motion. And since I don't like doing it, they say put the things you don't want to do at the beginning of your day, get them out of the way, get them going so that you can, concentrate on the things you like. So in the beginning, it started off as, well, I'll lay in the bed for a little while, kind of get my motor running, and I'll go out when she leaves at 7. And that lasted for a couple of weeks. Then it started backing up a little bit. Then I said, okay, I'll get up, I'll get my shower, then I'll go for a walk. And then by the time I'm done with my walk, she's done with her, she's headed out. I do my morning routine. But as of late, I've been getting up when she gets up. I put my shoes on. I get my shorts or sweatpants on, depending on the outside temperature. And I go out. Now today, something more even happened. I woke up before the alarm. In fact, I woke up 30 minutes before the alarm at 5 a.m. And I laid in the bed for a little while and finally decided, okay, I'm going to get up. Obviously, I'm not going to get back to sleep for the 30 minutes until the alarm goes off. And I very quietly got up, got my clothes and shoes on, and headed out. And one of the things that I am learning through this process, and it's something that I've known can happen, but I've very rarely experienced it because I've not developed habits from beginning to end. And that is this. I wasn't a morning person. But because of being intentional and developing a habit, now all of a sudden my body is becoming a morning person. I used to not be a walker, but because of intentionally starting the habit and staying consistent and doing it, all of a sudden I'm becoming a walker. My first original intention was to only walk Mondays through Fridays, but as with my wife, we both are feeling like we want to put our body in motion every single day now. And Saturday, we decided to go for a walk on a paved trail near Nashville. We're looking at doing hiking. Now, all of a sudden, our identity has gone from a person who is trying to exercise to I'm an exerciser. I'm a walker. Going from someone who doesn't care about fitness but knows he needs to do it to somebody who embraces fitness. I am becoming a fitness person. You see, habits over time affect your identity. If you've never been a morning person, well, then you're not going to be a morning person unless you intentionally develop the habit of becoming a morning person. And I feel like that a lot of us have an identity that we've put on from the habits that we've built up over a long period of time. Maybe it's even habits dating back to our childhood that we could simply change if we would intentionally build a new habit until the identity shifts. We see this all the time in our health coaching business. People who say, well, I've always had a slow metabolism, or I've always been big boned, or I've always been the bigger person, or I've always been this, or I've never been that. The beauty of that is now that we are learning the lesson about habits to identity, you can accept it and agree with the fact, yes, you have never been or you've always been, but you don't have to always be. You get to make the choice. And the way that you make that choice is to be intentional, work the muscle, and build the habit till that habit literally changes your identity. One of my mentors, his name is Doug Wood, just recently at the age of early to mid 40s, got into a fitness competition and did very well. He and his wife both did it. But can I tell you that they spent 10 years after their weight loss journey? Yes, they did exercise. Yes, they went, but I think it was almost 3 years ago, they said, we're stepping things up in a great and mighty way in our own fitness. And they began to really level up in fitness. And then the very next step to that was entering this fitness competition and really pushing themselves further. You say, David, well, that's good for them, but that's not me. I get that. But here's what I noticed about them. Their entire identity began to change. Instead of people who, merely went on a health journey, lost a lot of weight and feel great, now they are fitness leaders because they developed a habit, and the habit was literally changing their identity. So my question for you today as we wrap things up this morning, what is your current identity? And what is the identity that you want? Maybe you want an identity as a better leader. Maybe you want an identity as the greatest dad, granddad. Father's Day is next weekend. But whatever the identity you want, now you need to back up, take a look, and decide, what are the habits that I need to build to have that identity? If successful people in my field, whether it's the field of business, the field of health, if those successful people get up early and get a lot done before they start their business day, then that's a habit that I need to develop so that I can have that identity. And while my brain is still fighting against it, going, you want to sleep in, 9 o'clock, whatever. But because I've developed these habits, my body won't let me. And now my identity is shifting. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm no longer mad or ticked off that I didn't get to sleep in. Now I get to see what my day looks like, that I can get that walk in, that I can maybe, now that I'm earlier, I can even extend that walk a little bit longer because it's not going to infringe on the next thing on the agenda. And now I'm becoming a morning person. I'm becoming a walker. And that is my new identity. You can do it too. Just figure out what identity you want, figure out the habits you need to build, and get to it. God bless.